Vlad the Prince of Wallachia, more famously known as Vlad the Impaler or Dracula, remains one of history's most fascinating and controversial figures. A man shrouded in legend and inextricably linked to Bram Stoker's iconic vampire novel. His life was a tapestry woven with threads of ruthless political maneuvering, brutal warfare, unwavering orthodox faith, and a reputation for cruelty that bordered on the monstrous, all set against the turbulent backdrop of 15th century Eastern Europe. To understand the real Dracula, it's crucial to disentangle the historical figure from the literary creation, a task made difficult by centuries of embellishment, biased accounts, and the persistent allure of the vampire myth. Born sometime between 1431 and 1435, Vlad's early life was profoundly shaped by the protracted conflict between Wallachia, a small principality nestled between the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary, and the encroaching power of the Ottomans. His father, Vlad II, known as Vlad Dracula, Vlad the Dragon, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a chivalric order established by Emperor Sigismund of the Holy Roman Empire intended to counter the Ottoman advance into Europe. This association, along with the Romanian interpretation of Dracul meaning dragon, contributed significantly to the later association of Dracula with dragons and, eventually, with vampires. Vlad's childhood was disrupted by the political turmoil of the era. In 1444, Vlad Dracula was summoned to Vienna by Emperor Sigismund and, along with other nobles, was imprisoned for allegedly plotting against Hungarian authority. During this imprisonment, Vlad and his son Vlad were held as hostages, receiving a rudimentary education and likely witnessing firsthand the complexities of European power politics. But Vlad Dracul was eventually released in 1446 and returned to Wallachia, where he briefly regained the throne with the assistance of Hungarian forces. However, this brief respite was short-lived. In 1447, he was overthrown by Vladin, a boyar who had been appointed ruler by John Hunyadi, a powerful Hungarian military leader. Vlad Dracul and his son, Vlad, fled into the forests of Transylvania, seeking refuge with the Saxon communities and enduring a period of hardship and exile. This period of exile was formative for Vlad. He learned to survive in harsh conditions and likely honed his skills in guerrilla warfare and leadership in adversity. In 1456, with the support of Hunyadi, Vlad returned to Wallachia and decisively defeated his rival, Vladin, reclaiming the throne. Vlad's reign, though relatively short, 1456, 1462, and 1473, 1476, 77, was characterized by a ruthless and calculated approach to governance and a fierce determination to defend Wallachia from Ottoman expansion. His most infamous acts, those that contributed most to his reputation for cruelty, were often justified by him as necessary measures to consolidate his power, deter enemies, and protect his people. Perhaps his most well-known, and certainly the most shocking, was his practice of impalement. He would order the impalement of those who defied him, whether boyars, merchants, or even foreign dignitaries, and leave their bodies displayed prominently as a warning. While undeniably horrific, these acts served a strategic purpose. They instilled fear in his enemies, discouraged dissent, and demonstrated his willingness to impose his will through force. His most significant military confrontation occurred in 1462, when he launched a surprise attack on the Ottoman Empire, raiding Bursa, the Sultan's summer capital, and threatening Constantinople itself. This audacious raid, though ultimately unsuccessful in permanently weakening the Ottomans, demonstrated his bravery and tactical skill and temporarily halted Ottoman expansion into Wallachia. In 1463, Vlad entered into an alliance with Matthias Corvinus, King of Hungary, further solidifying his position and challenging Ottoman dominance in the region. However, this alliance proved tenuous, and in 1462, the Wallachian boyars, led by Radu, Vlad's younger brother, invited the Ottomans to invade Wallachia. The subsequent Ottoman invasion forced Vlad to flee Wallachia, marking the end of his first reign. Following his exile, Vlad spent several years in Hungary, seeking support to reclaim his throne. However, his increasingly erratic behavior and reputation for cruelty alienated many potential allies. In 1473, with the backing of Matthias Corvinus, Vlad returned to Wallachia and briefly regained the throne, ruling for approximately 3 years before being killed in battle. The circumstances surrounding his death remain shrouded in some uncertainty. He was reportedly killed in battle against the Ottoman forces and Wallachian boyars who had allied with them. His legacy has been shaped by centuries of biased accounts, folklore, and fictional portrayals. While Western sources often portray him as a ruthless tyrant, Romanian sources tend to emphasize his role as a defender of Wallachia against Ottoman aggression. The most significant influence on his modern image was undoubtedly Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, published in 1897, which transformed him into the archetypal vampire, forever linking his name with the supernatural and the undead. While Stoker's Dracula was loosely based on historical accounts of Vlad, he significantly embellished and fictionalized Vlad's character, creating a monstrous figure far removed from the complex and contradictory historical reality. The historical Vlad III was a product of his time, a ruthless but undeniably capable ruler who fought tirelessly to protect his principality from foreign domination. His brutality, though horrific, must be understood within the context of 15th century warfare and political intrigue, where violence and cruelty were often seen as necessary tools for survival. To fully appreciate the real Dracula, it is essential to move beyond the vampire myth and examine the historical figure in his own time, acknowledging both his flaws and his accomplishments.